Hi friends, I hope you're having a good day. My name is Christine. Welcome and welcome back to Make It or Bake It with Christine. So today we're going to be making the traditional hot cross buns. Now what are hot cross buns? They are, of course, a nursery rhyme, but it's also yeasted buns, sweet buns filled with various spices and currants and raisins and fruits of your choice. It has a little cross on the top that represents the crucifix and is mostly a traditional Easter food, typically eaten on Good Friday. So let's begin. I have 450 grams of flour right here, and to this I'm going to add 50 grams of sugar, and I am going to add a pinch of salt, because I'm using salted butter actually, so I'm going to use less salt. Then I am going to use yeast. Now I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of yeast. So I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of yeast. Okay, now I'm going to give this a good mix. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add butter. This is 85 grams of butter. Let me just put this away, the weighing scale. Okay, so I'm going to use my hands. They're the best. Nice clean hands. So I'm going to put the butter in here and I'm going to just rub the butter into the flour. I have nicely incorporated the hard butter into the flour, and you can see it's like this. Now I'm going to use milk. This is 240 grams of milk. I'm going to add an egg into the milk. So this mixture is ready, but what I like to do is I like to add some essence into this because I don't like the smell of egg too overpowering. Since it's a sweet bun, I like the aroma or the smell of essence. You can skip this part. So I'm going to add this mixture to the flour gently. I'm not going to use all of them in case it ends up being a little too much. There you go, I've kept some by. I'm going to mix the flour and combine it into like a shaggy dough. Now while I'm doing this, I also like to sprinkle some of the spices that I used. Now really it is they say allspice, but it's not really available where we're at, so I ground cinnamon, cardamom and nutmeg. That's what I ground and I made this spice, and it's really good. So I'll need more of this mixture, the egg and the milk mixture, and I'm going to knead it a little bit more. Okay, a very messy dough, but it's not really sticking to the bowl, which is good. 50 ml of this mixture remaining. This is going to come really handy when I brush the buns on the top. So I'm going to put this onto the surface now, and I'm going to knead it for some time. Okay, till it's well combined. So let's say about 5 minutes by hand. This is not messy and shaggy anymore. It's like holding its shape. Right now, I've used black currant. Okay, I have bloomed it. These were dried black currants. I just put them in hot water and left them for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna put this right here. Incorporate it into the dough. You can use any sort of dried fruits of your choice. This is about 85 grams of currant, and I'm gonna it's falling off. Anyway, I'm just gonna incorporate as much as I can. And this is a very rich recipe, I would say, because it involves very high fat content like eggs and milk and all of that. Nice arm exercise for me as well. We don't want to over knead the dough or overwork it up. A total of 5 to 7 minutes is good. 5 minutes for about getting it into shape, and then 2 minutes after we've put in the berries, right? I have greased this bowl really well. I'm gonna let it rest. I'm gonna rub the surface with oil as well, and you wanna let it rise nicely. So this is done. I'm gonna cover it for about an hour and a half. Now while that's being proofed, I'd like to prepare the paste for the cross. We don't want it too runny because then the cross fades off, you know, on the buns. They don't remain noticeable and fairly white. So I think this is a good. I used about 4.5 tablespoons of water, and this is the consistency we're looking at for making the crosses on the buns later. So I'm just going to set it and leave it aside. So 1.5 hours later, you can see that this has doubled in size. I'm gonna gently take it out from the bowl. Very aromatic already. And now I'm gonna divide this dough into small dough balls. Make small dough balls out of this. Use the weighing scale. So use the weighing scale to measure. So I think I'm gonna make them like 100 grams each, 100 and 304. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I've got 9 balls ready here. They weigh roughly about 100 to 105 grams. So I'm going to shape them up well so that they don't open up whilst baking. So just make sure they're nicely sealed and tucked underneath. Like so. I'm gonna place them in a tray. I'm gonna do the rest as well. So I've gone ahead and shaped these balls now, and I'm gonna cover them with an easy wrap. So I'm gonna let these rest for about 40 minutes before I egg wash them and make the crosses on them and put them in the oven. Now for the glaze, I'm just using some confectioner's sugar, powdered sugar, and you can use honey if you want, but I'd like to use this. I'm just gonna add in some water and give it a good stir. That's it. So my glaze is ready, this mixture, and my flour paste is ready for the crosses. Okay, bake it. I'm gonna turn off the fan. Okay. So it's been close to 40 minutes and these have risen well. I'm gonna give them the egg wash. This is the remaining milk and egg that I had left whilst mixing the dough. So I'm going to gently give them a good brush. This helps in a nice brown top. Paste into this piping bag. I'm not an expert, but let's try. I'm gonna go right across from here, like that. So I've gone ahead and made crosses on the buns. As you can see, there's a little bit of a mess down there, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bake this at 200 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. So my oven has been heating for about 20 minutes now. I've set it at 20 minutes. So the buns are done. Okay. So the dough paste has to be a little thick for us to prominently see the crosses on the buns. I'm gonna glaze it with the sugar mixture that I prepared. And it's nice and hot. That will give a nice sweet taste to the buns as well. It gives that glaze, like a shine effect on the buns. That's it. Our hot crust buns are ready. You can have it with tea, you can cut it open, apply butter, or just have it like that. They're amazing, especially when you're about to break your fast on Good Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing everyone a very meaningful Holy Week. And don't forget to try this as well.